Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibsy7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this week's update and my thoughts on it overall. On Monday, I did do the first look video for the Shadow Reef, where I did my first run through the dungeon and gave kind of my preliminary thoughts therein. Since then, I did get the kill on the Ambassador after a couple of more tries. Still only have the one kill so far, but in general, it wasn't too hard past the point with Siryu coming out. Siryu actually is helping you in the fight, which obviously I was not aware of when I was in the moment, but he actually heals you to full, and then his Dragon Breath kills all those minions that are out, and you weren't able to kill from the previous phase. And then the final phase with the Black Hand starts, and that Mage Onslaught can simply be blocked with Devotion or Cade or something like that, and it's not too bad once you get into the rhythm of it. He does get healed quite a bit during that phase, and you can block it by running in front of the Black Hands that are healing him, but I didn't do that during my kill. I just sat there and DPS'd and ended up getting the kill. So we'll probably do some more runs in the future, but in this video I'm just going to be mining here to continue getting closer to getting my comp cape back, which is still out of the mining and smithing rework. Is still stuff I need to get done, is just these light and dark Animica, and then make the Elder Rune. So slowly getting that done over these vlogs while I'm mainly playing on my hardcore. But anyways, let's talk about the update. Overall for the dungeon, I guess, although I did give my thoughts a little bit in the Monday video, I thought it was really good. Definitely enjoyable. I'd have to say these bosses were probably some of my favorites in terms of my first impressions of them. Especially the Ambassador is a pretty fun fight. I really did like it a lot, to be honest, although it was a bit tough to get used to. And they stuck with the theme of the mechanics of, well, at least I don't know how badly the second boss can hit you, because I was able to kind of adequately deal with all of his mechanics. But for the first boss and definitely the Ambassador, they stuck with the theme of Elite Dungeons, of the mechanics being extremely punishing if you mess them up, and if you get hit by any of those special attacks or anything, you are going to be taking a massive amount of damage. So I wonder if they're going to continue with that trend in the future, but we'll have to see where they go from here in terms of new bosses and stuff. But overall, I definitely enjoyed the dungeon. I don't even know how much the crossbow is right now. I haven't even seen any posts about it on the high-level weapon status forums, where they usually track the prices. So it's probably pretty expensive right now. I doubt there are, a whole lot of them in game. I'm not sure though. I haven't seen any drops in any of the worlds I've been in. I don't know if they broadcast or not, but yeah. The thing about the crossbow is, I believe they stated beforehand, each player will start on a different piece of it, or like it's random what piece of it you start on, but then it'll go in order from there, like Telos orbs. So you could maybe start on the stock, and then you would get the mechanism and the limb, or you could start on the mechanism and then get the limb and the stock. That's how it works. But the parts are all tradable. So with everyone starting on a different part, there could definitely be multiple, like probably several completed bows at this point, but I'm not sure on that. So I don't know really the prices of anything, but it's likely to be quite expensive. The arrows as well with the new arrow tips are very expensive, because you use them up every single time you use an ability, apparently. So they are like 6K each for those, and those are really expensive. Don't know much about the new scrimshaws, but overall, I think a great rounding off to the Elite Dungeon trilogy, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have further for PVM this year. But yeah, I think that was a great little, not little, but a great PVM update, and you guys can check out my video on Monday if you want to hear more of my thoughts on that as I played through it. Unfortunately, as a part of that update, they were supposed to be releasing an update to bows like the Saren God Bow and other bows that can fire without arrows, to allow them to get the special effects of certain arrows if you equip them, like Dragonbane arrows and stuff like that. But they have not implemented that just yet. Sorry, my cat is knocking stuff off of the table. Stop it. Stop. But they didn't get that in this week, because I guess there was some issue with it. I don't know what it was exactly. They didn't really tell us, and they didn't tell us how long it was going to be until it actually does come out, but it is unfortunate they weren't able to come through with that because of the new arrows. I don't think you can even use them with the best bows in the game, like the Saren God bow. Either way, they also did not introduce the duo mode loot buffs to make it better than trio. I mentioned this in my video on Monday. They did say they would come out with that with the Elite Dungeon 3, rebalancing all the dungeons to make duo actually potentially worth doing over trio, because at this time it is currently the same loot in duo or trio, which doesn't make much sense. So they didn't do that, but I left a post on Reddit and they said they are going to be doing it in the near future, so hopefully that comes out soon. And now on to the big surprise of this week was the new quest that came out, Curse of the Black Stone. I did complete it yesterday, and honestly, for me doing it, it wasn't that great of a quest because I'd already done all 3 of the elite dungeons before starting the quest, and it was basically just running around and talking to a bunch of people, which is not the most enjoyable experience, especially having to run back and forth between like the Black Knight's Fortress and the Taverley Dungeon like 4 or 5 times during the quest was not super enjoyable. But overall, I think it was really cool to get the lore behind why the elite dungeons, exist, and some backstory on the ambassador and everything that's happened to lead up to this point of Elite Dungeon 3. I think if I hadn't done the elite dungeons beforehand and I was like kind of had to play through them to, as part of the quest, it would have been a bit more enjoyable because it would have obviously had those pretty decent spurts of like combat to make it a little bit more exciting rather than just me just running around and talking to people. But overall, I definitely think it's a good quest, and just a big shock that they just dropped it out of nowhere without any, announcement or even like a hint or a leak at all that it was coming out. It just came out, and people didn't even know it. They didn't even put it on the news page. People didn't even know it had come out until someone posted on Reddit, new quest that also came out with elite dungeons. So pretty good rewards from the quest as well. You get 4 quest points, so we're now up to 406 quest points, and then you get a nice 10% damage reduction across all the elite dungeons, which is definitely beneficial. Not a huge reduction, but still pretty significant for, if you're going to be camping for a while. It might help you survive some of those more punishing special attacks a little bit more often. And you also get 3 huge XP lamps, so, you just chuck those on whatever you like. Interesting how they've gone with those, since obviously previously it usually is like XP lamps that you can only use at a certain level or higher that are like a set amount of XP. Huge XP lamps are based off of your level in the skill. So I wonder if they're going to be shifting towards those for quest rewards in the future, because that would be an interesting approach, I guess, to make the rewards scale as you level up rather than having them be static for anyone that does the quest. So yeah, definitely did enjoy the quest overall, although like I said, could have been a bit more interesting for those who had already done the elite dungeons. I thought it was really cool though to see more about the whole story behind them, and just the 3 dungeons and the quest are like a really nice, like tightly, I guess I would call it, pretty like tightly packed storyline within the game that really, it all came out within the last, at least the last year. I'm not sure when Amanishi came out. I can quickly look it up if I go to the wiki, Temple of Amanishi. Let's see what it says on here. So that came out in June of last year, end of June. So it's been like 8 months, 8 or 9 months in total for all of this content to come out. So definitely pretty sweet, for sure. And I'm really hoping they can continue with this streak of good content, and they've had what is that now, like 4 new quests in the past 4 months. Pretty sweet. Obviously the other 3 quests really, the needle skips was a bit more involved, but the other 2 were kind of like low level novice quests. But this was a pretty high level quest, although it kind of used the elite dungeons as like its springboard. Like those were the main focus of the combat and challenge related to the quest. But still, I think it's great that they're, kind of shifting focus back a little bit to quests. And obviously we've had a pretty hard focus on some new skilling updates recently as well, with the player-owned farm, obviously the mining and smithing rework, but still having these elite dungeons in for PVM. We had Soul Lock last year as well in May. So I think things have been going pretty well so far. And then next month we're having the bounty hunter rebalances and stuff like that. So looking forward to seeing that come out, although I really do not think it's going to do anything to revive the wilderness, which is what they are presumably hoping it will do. The wilderness just seems dead to me at this point. There's not much they can do to revive it. So I am in favor of, removing the PvP from the wilderness, but also removing all the, really beneficial stuff that's there. And then, adding content there. Like, there's so much space in the wilderness where there's really nothing. So they could add so much there. Maybe make a whole quest line of how you're, rediscovering the ancient cities that used to be there. I mean, if you go to the Ancient Magic's spellbook, there's a lot of teleports to the wilderness with names that you probably don't recognize otherwise, but they're, I think, named for the ancient cities that used to be in the wilderness before the God Wars happened, I believe. I'm not too into the lore of the game, but I think that is what the lore is for the wilderness. So I would love to see something like that. I don't know, but either way, that's pretty much everything for this week's update. I don't think there was anything in the patch notes that were super worth mentioning, aside from, they fixed a bunch of the bugs that came out with last week's stuff. And then, that was pretty much it. I don't think there was any, obviously it was a big update week, so there wasn't going to be too many patches. But I think overall a really, really good week, a nice big PVM update and a master quest in 1 week. Pretty sweet. And I'm definitely looking forward to the months to come in the game. That being said, I will definitely be having a new episode of my Hardcore Iron Man series coming out. Well, hopefully this weekend. I'm actually going away this weekend, so I won't be at my apartment to edit on the weekend, which is what I usually do, but I'll try to get it done beforehand and schedule it as an upload on maybe Saturday. But we are leaving on Friday morning, and I won't be back until Sunday night. So I might have trouble getting out a video this weekend. Similarly, they're probably going to be coming out with the behind the scenes for March when I'm gone. So that is going to be on Friday most likely, unless it comes out tomorrow. But I assume it'll probably not come out until Friday, in which case I'll have to make a video on that when I get back. So apologies for that, but not much I can do about it. Kind of had this planned for a bit, and I probably should have tried to get that edited video done beforehand, but I'll probably do it, maybe tonight I can get some time to do that. But anyways, thanks for checking out the video, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. How'd you like the new quest? Have you done any Elite Dungeon 3 runs? What has your experience been like? And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.